Hey YouTube, how's it going? Scarpat from Scarpat's Comic Treks bringing you a little update, little Blu-ray acquisition chit-chat, just to check in and show what I've gotten on Blu-ray of late. We'll see if anybody jumps in here. It is, after all, 4:30 on a Monday afternoon. Most people are not on YouTube, I don't think, but we'll see who we get here. So anyways, I picked up a few new things since we last talked. A lot of stuff is coming out in September, October. There's a big array of stuff coming, especially in September, October. Some big sets. We got that Friday the 13th set from Screen Factory, which is going to be I think a 10 or 11 disc set. I think it's 12 of all the Friday the 13th movies, special features, new 4K restorations. Hey, Perry. Hey, Bubs. How's it going? Good to see you in here. Happy Monday. Got to do a little Blu-ray looking at. So, but yeah, September, October could be expensive months when it comes to buying a lot of classic horror and sci-fi films, mainly because it's going to be that time of year. You get the horror. Hey, Bubs, how's it going? Happy Monday. Hey, Perry, how's it going, Perry? Perry's been busy lately shooting out them videos. What's up, Scarpad? Superior, how's it going? Yeah, so we're just kind of hanging out here. I'm going to show some of the latest things I picked up in Blu-ray. Mostly Blu-ray, no DVDs this time. Some of the stuff is new. Some of the stuff has been out for a while. What's better to say? I'm going to do 31 days of horror movies. Good idea. A lot of good stuff. I can make some suggestions about, get a good mix of new and old stuff in there, Maybe even mix in some animation horror. Do something like the Last Train to Busan sequel animated movie or something. Do something cool. Some good stuff you could probably do. All right, well, we're going to start off doing some looking at some of the films I picked up. And Arrow Video is probably my favorite boutique distributor, just because they put out stuff that, while it may have been out in the past from other people, they do the best with all new restorations, all new special features. Oh, yeah. I'm paying for Screen Factory to stay open practically. So what we got this month? Well, the first thing up is Arrow has dipped their toe now into 4K video. And they're going to start putting out some of the titles they had on regular video in 4K. Things like They Live is coming out, I know in 4K. And a few other things. So there's two movies here, actually, from Arrow Video. Let's show you the first one here. Well, let's see. Yeah. First one is the 1980 version of Flash Gordon. Now, this is one of my favorite movies of all times, back in the 80s, for good camp, clean fun there. You get the Killer Queen soundtrack with the Flash. And, of course, you got all the stars here. This is a brand new 4K restoration of the film. Of course, Arrow, they're going to do it right with all the special features. So this is one of their first 4K discs. And the second one they actually put out is Pitch Black with Vin Diesel, the original Riddick movie. This is in 4K for the first time. It comes with the Blu-ray as well, I believe. And this is a brand new 4K restoration, HDR 10 on here. So this is the type of movie that could benefit from HDR, because you get those, majority of the movie, maybe half the movie, happening at night. So those inky blacks come out when you get the 4D, the HDR, the 10. Really good stuff. So I'm looking forward to watching this in HD. Once my man cave gets assembled. Now the next one is out brand new from. Okay, really, what the buy for Blu-rays? It can be. I've seen some really bad 4K discs of older movies, and keep in mind, some older movies like your favorite Batman Returns, things like The Shining, they have a lot of film grain. And if you use too much gloss to get rid of the film grain, the movie doesn't look, looks like a TV show. So you want to keep that film grain, but yet when you have a lot of it, it does, hurt the presentation in 4K because sometimes that film grain really shows up. But I've seen some stellar 4K, like go grab the Wizard of Oz in 4K or Star Wars. Well, the Star Wars one is not all that great. A lot of the older movies, though, they look fantastic in 4K because they were all done on film, very little computer effects. They really look good when they blow it up to 4K. So, yeah, some are, some aren't, depends. But the 4K discs now are pretty much the same price as the regular ones. So, Ultra HD disc can hold much more data than, yeah, that's true. 100 gigabytes, I think it is. So, you know, so another one here, restored, brand new that just came out is Horror Express. Horror Express is a movie put out by Arrow, new 4K restoration, tons of special features. This is, of course, a Hammer film. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. It's a zombie killer on the loose on a train demon movie. It's Telly Savalas, Kojak himself, also in this. It's a great flick. One of the great Hammer horror flicks, Horror Express. That's brand new. That's in Blu-ray from Arrow Video. Now this is the granddaddy of them all here, the original Creep Show, done upright by Arrow. This is by Scream Factory actually, and Scream Factory has come out. It's a little book that's in there, along with the movie. You get a little book talking about the movie. Full 4K restoration, but of course this is on 1080p Blu-ray. But this is the original special edition of George Romero's Creep Show. Pick that up. I agree, Perry, but the usual Prey is not filmed in 4K. Well, see, if a movie's filmed in 35 millimeter or 70 millimeter, like a lot of the older films are, you can really blow those things up and get ultra high resolutions from them. So, that's where movies are filmed will do okay on 4K. It's still reduction of resolution. And, it depends on the elements of the film, really. Some will look good, some won't. Hey, how's it going, TK? Glad you stopped in here. Maybe, but some of those, 4K, they don't even look that good in HD. So, would you like to see this puss in 4K in a porn movie? Oh, I'm in 720p right now, and people are probably recoiling from their screens. Playing Call of Duty. I gotta get back into Call of Duty. Yeah, I'm not going out of my way to buy steel books, but if they're there and they're inexpensive, some of them are ridiculously priced. But if they're under $20, and I like the movie, I like the steel book, I'll grab them. I will show a steel book here in a second that I did that for. So 720. That's right. All right, so I did pick up Creep Show 2. I've never seen Creep Show 2, but my understanding is not as good as the original Creep Show, although some of the original people come back for this. So this is Creep Show 2, put out by Arrow, special edition, 4K, down res to 1080p on Blu-ray. But I think I picked this up before it went out of print, so I'm a completist that way. And the last one I have from Arrow is the original Hills Has Eyes, the original 70s version, although the remake on this flick isn't bad. Some of the sequels weren't great, but the remake wasn't bad. But of course, the original is just straight up 70s exploitation cheese. The original Wes Craven's Hills Have Eyes, and some whacked out stuff goes on with this one. So this is a Arrow special edition release, and let's look back of it. Shitload of features as they usually have. And I think that's everything from Arrow. Now let's look at a couple other things I picked up. I did pick up the 4K Steelbook of Beetlejuice. This comes with the original Blu-ray and the 4K version. And there's the inside. You got the discs and you got the artwork in a nice Steelbook release. There's the back. So that's Beetlejuice. Also, just came out a new, I think it's just reboxing of this movie. I don't think it's anything special, but you get a Blu-ray digital code on a steelbook for the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So this is the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's a 40th edition direction. So you do get some extra features on here, alternate endings, two commentaries. There it is, the background. And I thought that was a nice steelbook with his glove in there. Pick one or two horror movies that I must watch. Well, I will do that. I'll give you a yell. Yeah, The Squids of Eyes. I never saw The Squids of Eyes. Okay. Guys talking about moisture. No moisture here. Oh, snap, Beetlejuice. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I like Beetlejuice, and I like the original Nightmare on Elm Street, too. So I picked that up. Let's see. All right. Oh, let's look at these. And let's look at this one first. This is an excellent deal. I got this for, I think, under $50. And it's the new Alfred Hitchcock's classics released on 4K video. And from my initial reviews of these online, it's been pretty favorable. All four of these movies supposedly look, really nice in their new. I think these are maybe older 4K scans, but still new on 4K discs. And now the movies themselves, I understand, are great, but once again, Universal screws the pooch. While this is kind of a nice looking package, I hate these digibook packs. Why? Because each movie has to be put in these stupid little sleeves here, and you end up like scuffing them and scratching them when you're pulling these things out. So for a movie that costs $50, $60, they should have done the same thing in plastic. Although I will say this is a nice package. You get some nice artwork there. And then for Rear Window, each of the movies has their own little spread. Vertigo, Psycho, and The Birds. So I mean that is pretty nice. But I don't like the sleeves for this type of presentation. So they could have done a little bit better. And because of that, now I say I don't usually buy steelbooks for just their presentation, but I did with this one. This is a Best Buy exclusive Psycho in 4K steelbook. I really love the way the steelbook looks. And then if you look at the inside of the steelbook, you get the discs, and you got old Norman Bates himself there. So a really nice presentation. So I did get the steelbook only. Now this version contains both the theatrical and now newly released uncut version. It's supposed to restore some of the stuff that was in the theatrical version in the 60s when they put this out, but then got cut for censors since then, has been reinserted back in the film, and you get a Psycho uncut version. If you're just interested in the Psycho movie, you don't want the rest of them, pick up the Best Buy steelbook. I really think this is nice. Let's see who else is out there. Yeah. I love how Scott put it's a chat room for 5 minutes and shocked. That's all side conversation. He laughed. Hey man, I gotta show the product and click on the thing. I'm ambidextrous, but I'm only drinking water over here. I need to get a little whiskey going or something to be able to do all that. Oh yeah. Well, I'll try to get back to the chat in a second. I don't have that much more to show. So let's see what else we have. Another steelbook, Joe Dante's The Howling. I kind of like that steelbook there. That's a Scream Factory. It's the back. Steel. Yes, it is steel. From Warner, Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. This is a late 60s, early 70s Hammer British film, Peter Cushing, and he, once again, we get Peter Cushing and Frankenstein. You can't do better than that. I got most of these films. I grabbed this one. It's a guilty pleasure for sure. These two are really, really guilty pleasures, and these just come out brand new from Kino Lorber, and you'll see these on TV every now and then. Of course, this is Doctor Who and the Daleks. Doctor Who and the Daleks, based upon the old '60s Doctor Who show and the new one that's kind of rolling on. This casts Peter Cushing in the role of a human scientist Doctor Who. They've changed it around a little bit, but you still get the Daleks. You get them in color. You get brand new 2K scan with a bunch of new featurettes on the back. So that's from Kino Lorber. And of course, they had to put out the sequel, which is Doctor Who and the Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD. This one shifts the action to the Daleks' home planet, and we get to see some gigantic spaceships. When I was a kid watching this, like 12 years old, I loved this Invasion Earth. I didn't even know anything about Doctor Who at that point, but I knew this movie. So if you want a couple good old 60s, 70s sci-fi staples, both of these films heavily recommended. And let's finish up. A couple of things I picked up from television. One, I don't know if anybody remembers this. This is an old 70s, long forgotten version of The Invisible Man with David McCallum. David McCallum, of course, from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And I think he was also in one of the NCISs of late. But here he stars as the Invisible Man. It was a cool 13-episode, I think, one season little show that came out somewhere in 1974, maybe. And it had a lot of the Star Trek alumni writing this, producing it, directing it. So if you can find this, it's about $8. Video quality is, but I mean, it's certainly watchable. I think they put all the entire show on like one disc or something in here. So don't expect great quality, but it's a pretty entertaining show. Finally, probably a show that more people remember than don't remember. A lot of people remember the 2004 remake, which is good, but for my money, the original Battlestar Galactica is still where it's at, and this is the ultimate definitive version of Battlestar Galactica. This is the entire enchilada. Well, first off, they remastered this show for high definition. But if anybody remembers, TV back in the old days weren't widescreen. They were square boxes, and all the shows were square too, so they didn't fit on the new TV screens. They don't fit that well. So a lot of the older shows, they've gone ahead and they've remastered them to widescreen where they zoom in on the image, cutting off some of the top and bottoms for more stuff on the sides and getting that wide ratio. So this version of the box set contains both the original full screen and the widescreen version of the show, the one season show. Also, oh God, everybody remembers Galactica 1980. It was really bad, so bad it's entertaining sequel sort of to Battlestar Galactica. And less said about that show, but it is kind of fun to watch. And that's been remastered in widescreen and full screen Blu-ray. This has both. Also has the version of the movie. The movie as it was shown in theaters, Battlestar Galactica, the movie. And you believe you get, what else do you get? 1980, the movie and the show, both widescreen and full screen. These things look and sound fantastic. It's a nice set. Now, they also have available a set that is just the remastered one. So if you don't want to get both, widescreen and full screen, if you're happy with the widescreen, there's a widescreen only version of this, which cuts the price of this set in half. So I think I paid like $50. I think you can get the widescreen only version of this for like $25. So look for it. It goes on sale on Amazon. But if you're a definitive fan like I am and love the original series of Battlestar Galactica with all its warts and repetitive footage and shit like that, but who doesn't love this? So this is Battlestar Galactica, the definitive edition. I picked that up. I think that is it for this quick update Just to kind of pop in here, say hey, see how everybody's doing, talk to a few of these guys. Bubs took off. Perry's still in the background, I believe. Vertigo, that is kind of a horror suspense movie. It's a very good movie. The Birds, and any of those movies that's in that set, Perry, whether it be The Birds, Vertigo, or Rear Window, because I think or Psycho for that matter, if you haven't done that. Any of those four, do them. If you want the best, my opinion, do Psycho and The Birds, and then save Vertigo and Rear Window for a double feature. You can do that down the line. But The Birds and Psycho, I think if you haven't done Psycho, I'm not sure if you have or not. So that's about it for now. We're gonna hopefully be able to open up some of these films and actually watch them shortly. So we'll see what happens at some point. I am being handed something right here. I have no idea what this is. We'll maybe have to open this up. Look at it. It was a live handing of something to me, and we can do an instant unboxing before I get out of here. Unless I open this up in some sort of sex book or something, I won't show it. I have no idea what this is. I don't even know if this is a movie. It might be as I said, it might be one of those nudie magazines. Could be a Brian Michael Bendis Superman. Nah. See what we got here. Oh, okay. Another Arrow film. See the Arrow films? They just kind of pop in here, and Arrow film has arrived. They got right through the door. Somebody hands them to me. A house, the original house number 1 from Arrow. This is once again 1080p version of a film that's been remastered in 2K and then down converted, but it has the usual great house features. I really like this movie. William Catt, The Greatest American Hero, George Wendt from Cheers. The original House was a clever, good movie. The rest of them, they did like 3 or 4 of them. They were horrible. So if you can get it, the original House, I recommend it from Arrow Video. One of my perfect things. The mail lady just walks in and hands you that package. That's how it happens. I don't know how the mail lady finds her way in here, but it's kind of like your mom when she hands you stuff, Perry, when you're doing videos, whoever that hand is that hands you stuff. It's the same person. So. All right, well, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys are having a good week, start of the week. Stay safe, stay healthy, read some books, and get some Blu-rays. Everybody can use your business right now. We'll catch you later. Scarpats, Comic Treks. Adios.